The Golden Bowl of Andapura. Long ago, in the kingdom of Seri, two merchants traveled together to the city of Andapura. Aerys was a man with a gentle heart and a bright smile, while Melak was a man who cared only for the weight of his purse. They carried heavy packs of brass pots and tin pans, hoping to trade them for a fair price in the city's winding streets. As they crossed the Great Talavaha River, they agreed to split the city into two districts so they would not get in each other's way. Deep within the city lived an old woman named Veda and her young granddaughter Tara. Once, their family had been wealthy and respected, but those days were long gone. Now, they lived in a small, quiet cottage, working hard just to find enough food for each day. Their only treasure was an old, blackened bowl that had belonged to Tara's grandfather. It sat forgotten in a corner, covered in years of soot and dust, its true nature hidden from the world. Melak was the first trader to enter their street. "Water pots for sale. Tin for brass," he shouted. Hearing his voice, Tara ran to the door. She longed for a small trinket, a bracelet or a bead to call her own. "Grandmother, please," she begged. "Let us trade something for a gift." Veda sighed, knowing they had no money. "But Tara, we have nothing to give him," she replied sadly. Tara remembered the old bowl in the corner. "What about this, grandmother?" "It is old and dirty. Perhaps the merchant will take it." Veda called Melak inside and showed him the blackened dish. Melak took the bowl, feeling its surprising weight. Suspecting something, he secretly scratched the bottom with a needle. Underneath the soot, a bright yellow line shimmered like a fallen star. It was solid gold. Melak's heart raced, but he did not want to pay a fair price. He wanted the gold for nothing. He scowled and threw the bowl onto the floor. "This is worthless," he barked. "It isn't even worth half a penny. I'm wasting my time here." He turned and marched out, planning to come back later when the women were desperate so he could take it for a single copper coin. A short while later, Aerys arrived on the same street. His voice was melodic and kind as he called out his wares. Tara looked at her grandmother. "This man sounds much nicer, grandmother. Perhaps he will be kinder than the last." Veda hesitated, but eventually agreed. "Very well, call him in. But do not expect much after what the other man said." When Aerys was shown the bowl, he didn't even need to scratch it to feel its worth. He looked at the old woman with honest eyes. "Mother," he said, his voice filled with awe, "this bowl is made of pure gold. It is worth 100,000 pieces of silver. I do not have enough in my entire pack to pay you what it is truly worth." Veda was stunned. "The other man said it was trash," she whispered. Aerys insisted on giving them everything he had. He emptied his pouch of 500 silver coins and gave them his entire stock of brass and tin. "Please, take this," he said. "It is all I have." He only asked to keep 8 coins for the ferry and his empty carrying bag. Tara and Veda were overjoyed. Their lives were changed forever because one man chose to tell the truth. Aerys hurried to the river to catch the boat home. Soon after, Melak returned to the cottage, pretending to be doing the women a favor. "Fine," he sneered. "I will take your dirty bowl for a few copper beads." But Veda stood tall. "You lied to us," she said firmly. "An honest trader has already been here. He told us the truth and gave us a fortune for the gold you tried to steal." Melak ran to the river, his heart burning with rage and regret. He saw Aerys already on the boat, halfway across the water. Melak shouted for the boat to stop, but it sailed on. He had lost the gold, but more importantly, he had lost his peace. As the golden sun set over Andapura, Aerys sailed toward a bright future, while Melak was left on the shore, finally realizing that greed had cost him everything.